All right, there's two things that influence where the Bank of Canada's rates go. Two things. First of all is inflation. That's their target, right? That's why they exist. Bank of Canada exists to have an inflation target of 2%. Yeah, I'm not so sure it's going to be 2% forever. We may be entering an age where we're going to have to be more like 2%, 2.5%, 2.7%, stuff like that. A lot of reasons, not today, but definitely that's their goal. Their goal is 2% inflation. And they get there by looking at the inflation report, which is called the CPI report, Consumer Price Index. So that comes out around the middle of each month. The other thing is the jobs report. How is jobs growth in Canada? More jobs growing, lots of jobs, or fewer jobs, maybe some people getting laid off. That's really, they look at a million different things. They talk to the banks every week. They do a lot of stuff at the Bank of Canada. But if I was to sum it up, two reports, how are jobs going? Somebody would argue, oh, well, what about the GDP report? Okay, fine. But look, let's make it simple here. We need to be fucking simple, all right? CPI and report, middle of the month, jobs report, that's what they think about. Key probably is the CPI. We just had a CPI report today. You're going to see it. And it's better. It's 2.8% down from over 3, started over 8. So that's good news, right? Good news. Inflation's coming down. Great news. And things will get better. And pretty soon there'll be no more increases from the Bank of Canada, and eventually there'll be cuts. Not this minute. A couple of things. This is, and let's examine the CPI report. I'm not going to go through a billion things about it and try to parse it like I'm an economist, which I'm the farthest thing in the world from. But here's what I think about. The goddamn food inflation is still 9%. 9% for food. Still, no let up. I looked at a number the other day. The price of bread from a year ago is up 28%. That's bread. Everybody eats bread. I eat some bread. I eat a bit of bread. Obviously, look at me. I eat a lot of fucking bread. But at the end of the day, everybody needs this food. This is not something people can do without. It's a key income disparity problem, because if you're well off, you haven't changed what you buy. It costs you more, but you haven't changed the food you buy. You're still probably going out to restaurants just as much as you were. But for people in lower income brackets, for people on fixed income, it's a goddamn disaster. Continued 9% increase in the price of food in Canada. It's a goddamn disaster. And the Bank of Canada should be ashamed of that part, even though there's probably not a hell of a lot they can do about it. But this is what we got to realize. Right now, the things that are driving inflation in Canada are food and, guess what? Rents and mortgages. Rents and mortgages keep going up because, light bulb, the Bank of Canada keeps raising the rates, and therefore people's mortgages go up, whether they're fixed. When they're fixed, they renew. When they renew, they go up. People see their cost of housing go up. And landlords, many of whom, so many, who had mortgages, had variable rate mortgages, the people who own the condos, the townhouses, the single families who owned these properties individually, they're sort of like, call them mom and pop landlords. Many of them did take a variable rate, particularly in the busy years of 2020, 2021. They took variable rates. The variable rates have gone through the roof. And guess what? If a landlord is faced with this huge increase, they've got to do something about it. They've got to raise the rents. And that's what also contributes to inflation. Increased rental cost contribute to the inflation number. Again, I've called it the stupidest loop. It's the fact that when the Bank of Canada raises rates, they're also contributing significantly to shelter inflation. So that's what we're up against, folks. The two most important things, keeping a roof over your head and eating, are still going along at a fast clip. So what's the bank going to do? Don't ask me. I should not in the prediction business. It's a crap business. But we can suspect that if this trend continues, they'll stop raising the rates. Will they cut? No, don't hold out for the cuts. Don't start thinking the cuts are around the corner. Oh, they'll be cutting in the fall. They'll be cutting before Christmas. May not happen because we just don't know. We could get another inflation print that's not so great and everything's off the table. So don't predict cuts. keep your eyes on it. Hope for the best, but don't think there's going to be cuts this year. There's probably going to be no cuts until next year. And Bank of Canada, please think hard. Don't raise rates again, because we don't need any more pressure on shelter and we don't need any more pressure on food. Don't do it.